What's up, guys? Justin here with TheSketchUpEssentials.com. So in today's video, we're continuing our series on Profile Builder by learning how to use the hole tool in order to cut openings in your models. Let's go ahead and just jump into it. All right, and so this tool is important because it's really easy to cut a hole in something like this wall, right? You can just, create your opening to whatever dimensions you want that to be. And then when you do that, you can just erase out the bottom and you've got an opening. So no big deal. However, what happens is once you start getting into group geometry, this gets a lot more complicated, right? Like for example, I can't exactly put this opening on this surface and do a 3 foot by 7 foot right here because this is group geometry. Now, what you can do is you can double click in here. You can use the rectangle tool, type in a 3 foot by 7 foot rectangle, and then pull this across like this, and then you can create an opening. But that can get really time consuming unless you're kind of setting this up as you go. And then if you ever deal with walls that have multiple thicknesses like this, it just becomes a lot because you would have to draw a rectangle, pull through each one of these groups in order to get that opening to show up. Now, Profile Builder has a tool that allows you to do this a lot easier. And so it's just called the hole dialog. And basically what it does is if you click on it, it's going to pop up a little window that looks like this. And this is going to give you the ability to create holes in your SketchUp model. Now, it's kind of set up the way that the rest of Profile Builder is in the sense that you can set like an insertion point. So usually say that you're creating a rectangular hole for a door, for example, you want a bottom, middle, point, but you can set things like the dimensions in here. So in this case, for a 3 foot by 7 foot door, I would want this to be 3 feet wide by 7 feet high right here. And we're just going to check the box for full depth at the moment. And so down below, you have options for adding and editing the holes. And that's one of the benefits here is these are editable, meaning if I click, notice how I can mouse over an object and it's going to highlight the object that you have your mouse over. But if I click on it on a certain point like this and then click, notice what that's going to do is that's going to cut an opening. Now, one thing that's worth noting is this is going to act differently depending on if you have regular SketchUp geometry in here or if you have assemblies. So, for example, if I try to use the move function right here in this object, it tells me we can only move this inside of a profile member or an assembly. On the other hand, if we were to use a profile member, so let's say that I was to pick up the profile of this wall, and I'm just going to paste it over here, or we're going to add that as a profile. So if I add that as a Profile Builder profile, I will just call this wall right here. We're going to go ahead and set this to maybe bottom center. So bottom middle right here, like this. And say that we were to extrude a wall out like this one. Well, now if I cut a hole in it using the hole dialog, it's actually selectable as well as movable. So if you were going to use this heavily in your workflow, what you might do is you might end up creating profiles for all of your wall thicknesses so that you can quickly edit and adjust those walls. And that's actually not a terrible idea just in general, because that way, if you ever needed to edit the thickness or anything like that, you could do that by adjusting or moving the profile. And so you can also use this to remove holes from the assembly if you want to do that. So if I click on that, right, it's going to remove that hole completely. So it works best working inside of Profile Builders and assemblies, but it's still really valuable inside of regular walls. Part of the reason for that is not only can you do a full depth across one object, if you click in here like this, and notice how you have to select objects before you do this, but if you select multiple objects and then add the hole right here, notice how it's going to try to add the hole to the whole thing right here. So now you're able to quickly cut that hole inside of your model. The problem is you can only use the editing functions for this object if it's inside of an assembly. So this is kind of like going through and cutting that hole. So you can still do it, but just note that it's basically final when you do that on a non-assembly. But the cool thing about this is we also have the option in here to do things like circular openings. So if I wanted to add maybe a hole for ductwork or something like that, I could click on this wall right here or this collection of walls, and it's going to go through and it's going to cut openings in here for those holes really quickly. like this. And so you can also use this along with profiles in order to cut openings. So you could actually create a library of openings if you wanted to do that. But in this case, right, if I was to pop this up, notice how I can use any of my profile shapes. So these are whole examples that are built in, but you could do kind of whatever shapes you want. Notice how I could use this in order to add an arched opening right here, or any other profile. So say that I was to draw just like a custom shape in here, and it doesn't need to be anything fancy for this example. But if we were to click on this, and then we're going to select this and add a profile, and we'll just call this hole cutter right here. And we'll go ahead and we'll rotate it 90 degrees. Click on OK. But now I can use that profile in order to cut an opening in this wall. So it's super easy to do. And remember, because this wall was actually created as a Profile Builder assembly, I can also move these around if I want to do that. And I can also remove them if I don't want them anymore. So see how I can click in here and I can remove this. So you could create a whole custom workflow using assemblies and holes inside of SketchUp. And so another interesting application is you could also use this to remove material. So in this case, right, you could actually use this in order to create a pitched roof. So in this case, what I could do is I could take this and I could use it to remove material. And because we have this set to go full depth, what we can do is we can actually cut an opening on this face right here in order to remove that material. Okay, and so if we look at this down at the bottom of the page, there's also options over here to adjust this. So in this case, for example, I can mirror it by hitting the tab key right here. And you can also hit the home key in order to adjust where the placement point is on the object. So notice how it's cycling between those like bottom left, top left, all of that. But you can use this in order to really quickly remove materials from objects like this one. So notice how in this case, right, if I was to select all of these and then do this, we could actually use this to remove all of that material over here, which is actually really interesting. That's kind of a cool application. But theoretically, it would be possible for you to actually create a full workflow for like modular doors and other things like that. Now, one other place where this is valuable is this will also cut through your more complex assemblies. So say that we were to use this exterior cavity wall, or let's use the 2x6 wall right here, and say that we created a wall like this one using Profile Builder. This will actually recognize those assemblies and cut a hole in the whole thing. And so now if I select this object, and by the way, pre-selecting the object, make sure that you're actually going to cut the opening in what you want. But say that I was to do a rectangular hole with a center bottom or a bottom middle placement point like this, you can use this in order to cut openings in your assemblies right here. So that's a pretty cool function because those are also movable, right? So notice how right now I've got this set to full depth, which is not what I want. What I want to do instead is I want to take this object and I want to set it up where it's going to give me a depth of, we'll call it like 6 inches, or let's call it 12 inches just to make sure that we're all the way through. So I'm just going to remove this. I'm going to add a new hole with a depth of 1 foot right here. But now notice how it's just cutting the opening in the wall itself right there and not the back side. So that full depth will cut all the way across an object. This will just cut to whatever depth you tell it to cut to, which is interesting because you could also use this to do like recesses and things like that. So say, for example, that I was to set this to 2 inches. I could use this in order to create a rectangular recess in my wall right here, just like this as well. So if you're doing like architectural things like that, you can use this in order to not only cut openings, but also just remove material to a certain depth. Oh, and one other thing on these openings is at the moment, Profile Builder does not support anything going back into the opening. So it's not like automatically adding the framing over here or anything like that. Currently, there's not a super good way to do that. You could probably create an object for typical size openings and then just drop it in there if you wanted to have that detailed framing. So that is currently a limitation. This is more just for cutting the opening in the assembly itself. So definitely worth noting, but a lot of the time when you're dealing with brick walls and things like that, that's not that big of a deal. All right, so that's an overview of how the hole cutting tool in Profile Builder works. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you're using it. If you like this, I just love having that conversation with you guys. If you do want to check out Profile Builder, I'll link to it on this page. Note that is an affiliate link, meaning if you do end up purchasing through that link, I do receive a commission. But as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.